Content warning. The following story contains detailed descriptions of criminal activities and may not be suitable for all audiences. What if a daring robbery put an entire country on edge, leading to one of the most infamous crimes in history? The Great Train Robbery of 1963 did just that. The night of August 8th, 1963, was supposed to be like any other for the crew of the Royal Mail train traveling from Glasgow to London. But as the train approached the Sears Crossing in Buckinghamshire, a sequence of events set the stage for one of the most notorious heists in British history. The plan unfolds. Around 3 a.m., the signal lights ahead flashed red. As the train slowed, engineer Jack Mills braked cautiously, unaware of the nightmare that awaited. The railway signal had been altered by the robbers, a crew of 15 men led by Bruce Reynolds. These weren't amateur criminals. They were skilled and meticulously organized. Without warning, the gang overpowered Mills and his fireman, David Whitby. Mills was bludgeoned over the head, and Whitby was restrained. They were forced to unhook the locomotive and the high-value carriage containing cash and other valuables. I felt a massive blow to my head, Mills later recounted during his hospital recovery. The sudden violence spoke volumes about the gang's determination. Precision execution. With the locomotive and its precious cargo now isolated, the gang's own stand-in driver, who had experience on the railways, moved the train half a mile to Bridego Bridge, the robbery site. Here, the gang tore into the carriage, encountering the 128 sacks of money, an estimated 2.6 million pounds, equivalent to nearly 53 million pounds today. The haul was remarkable, and so was the discipline. They had us down within minutes. They knew precisely what they were doing, one postal worker testified, highlighting the gang's professionalism and military precision. Aftermath and the hideout. The thieves took their loot to Leatherslade Farm, a remote hideout prearranged for post-heist cover. It was at this rundown farm that meticulous planning and regiment ended. Against Reynolds' advice, the gang lingered, savoring their victory. Meanwhile, authorities were hot on their tails. Through detailed investigation work, including tracing the abandoned truck left near the scene, police were soon led to their hideout. The decisive clue, however, came from local cops narrowing down on farm rental records. Leatherslade Farm was a veritable treasure trove of evidence. Fingerprints, belongings, and even abandoned money bags mapped out each robber's steps. The hunt for justice. The intense manhunt captivated a nation. Days turned into weeks as one by one, arrests were made, resulting in 12 of the men being caught and brought to trial. The gang members became household names overnight. Charles Wilson, Ronald Edwards, and perhaps most infamously, Ronald "Ronnie" Biggs, who escaped from prison in 1965 and eluded capture for decades. During the court proceedings, Justice Edmund Davies said, "Each of you played a part in this smellful enterprise spurred by nothing but naked greed." The impact of this heist had long-lasting effects on both the judicial system and public perception. Enhanced security measures were immediately implemented on mail trains and cash transportation. A crime that echoes. The Great Train Robbery of 1963 remains a morbidly fascinating tale. It's a saga of audacity, greed, and ultimately, the long arm of the law catching up. Even today, remnants of its drama are woven into British cultural fabric via books, films, and documentaries. Imagine you're standing on the desolate tracks of Sears Crossing on that fateful night, the air thick with anticipation and fear. Somewhere in the distance, the clatter of the train approaches, cutting through the silence. Suddenly, chaos ensues. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below telling us what you found most fascinating, or if there's a story you'd like us to cover next. Until next time, keep your ears sharp and your imagination wilder than the wilderness itself.